Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to this Freedom Friday Daily Divine or Weekly Divine for the rebel that is you. So, before we get into this, we're just going to elevate the frequency a little bit here with these ting shaws. So, let us begin. So, welcome. This is a week of changes on this channel. It is the last day in January of 2025. Oh my gosh, 2024 was a decade. 2025 January has been a year, right? And we're still here. Yay. Hey, Elaine, did you see yesterday who won the free reading giveaway in the live draw? Well, it was a beautiful woman I know named Elaine, also known as the Spirited Woman. So reach out and we'll get you your reading. Congratulations, and thank you so much for your continued love and support of me and the channel and all the things that I do and share. I really love and appreciate you. So, well, there you go. There you go. You did. Okay, so as has been mentioned in a couple of the videos, you'll notice there's, as we're going, as the days are passing, I'm creating playlists for each of the days. So we have today, Freedom Friday, supporting the rebel that is you, the sacred rebel, to rebel and change the frequency as only you can do, as we each came here to do. Saturdays, we're going to do I believe I said a Saturday night live. And so, yeah, well, that would be, if it ends up going live on Saturday nights, it will be after I finish work. So it would be quite late, probably about 11:45 or so. And if we don't go live on Saturday, there will be an interactive message uploaded on Saturdays to that playlist. Sundays, we're going to work with sound. So, sound, mostly not my voice. So, we'll work with singing bowls, ting shaws, rattles, drums, whatever I'm guided to. It'll be a wee sound bath for us on Saturday, really to support our soul in integrating into our experience. Mondays, I'm feeling, are going to be like mudra / mantra Mondays. So, getting a little mantra for us to work with for the week. And yeah, working. And Mondays also feels like it will be either Monday, I think, will be an energy update. So for the week coming, and with that, we'll get a mantra as well as a mudra. So a hand posture, a hand pose to support us through the week. Tuesday nights, we're going to be live at 9:11 p.m. We're doing Tuesday night live, Born to Thrive. So it's just going to be an informal gathering here for one another, supporting each other. We'll tune into the energy, see what's going on for us. Wednesdays is going to be Whimsical Wednesday. And this is really supporting the divine feminine and the divine masculine to merge and rise individually and then in union with the other. And that will be an interactive as well. It's either going to be left or right are going to be the choices. And we're going to change it up because, generally the left brain stands for a particular function, logic, linear, this kind of stuff. The right brain is more intuitive, emotional. So whimsical Wednesday, Thursdays. What did we do Thursdays? Yesterday I did something here. Can you believe my mind is like a sieve? Thursday. What did I do? Here, I'm going to have to look because my brain isn't working. Geesh. Thursdays are Thursday morning, coffee time. How could I forget coffee time? Yes, we're going to do coffee time. Thursday mornings live around 10 a.m. Really supporting in the whole intention of the times and everything that I'm guided to offer is really to support us in moving through this year of 2025, the year of the snake, remembering who we are. We slayed a lot of dragons, imagined and otherwise, in 2024. And now it's time for us to shed the skin. And those of you who have been rolling and dancing and playing with me for a while, singing, laughing, crying, healing with me for a while, it's so important that we do not give up on the dreams of the inner child, the one that still lives within our experience and really believes in, little Lisa believes in this, utopia, really happily ever after, sort of the fairy tale endings, not necessarily the fairy tale beginnings, the fairy tale ending, which we have worked hard to experience. And we're really being called in 2025, which is a universal 9. So it's, a completion, wrapping up a cycle, moving on to the next level. So this is really a year about leveling up. Our archetype for this year is the Hermit, which is 9 in the major arcana. And those of you who have been tuning in for a while will remember that back during the holy day season of 2024, the message was coming through that 2025 was going to be the year to flip the Hermit on its head. And the Hermit was going to open up that lantern and let their starlight, their heart light out into the world, and to really begin to share their wisdom with confidence, at moving, going with the flow and moving with grace. So enough of that. Let's get into, we've had a lot of really cold weather here too. Not a ton of snow. North of where I live has had more snow. I'm happy anytime you're here. And one thing I will say here as well is that most of the messages on this page are timeless. So whenever you're guided to go and tune into one, have faith and trust that there will be something there for you. That this is how I serve. I trust that what's meant to come out is going to come out, and when it's meant to find the receptacle, then there will be something there for them. So we're going to be on Fridays, we're going to be working with these two decks, The Sacred Rebel by Alana Fairchild. And this is really just taking us through the phases of our lives, right? The maiden, the mother, the crone. And, personally, I'm, at that crone stage. And it's really important that we share, and to do so with confidence. And it's not from a space of the ego, it is from this place of inner knowing and having done the work, and sometimes I feel like sometimes I feel like when we operate from this place of the inner knowing, it can be rather startling to others who may not operate from that same heart space. And so we may find that, some people are not, they're almost, the word that's coming through is almost like repulsed by our energy. And, that's something I know that in recent days that's been, an experience that I've had with another beautiful soul. They just, they don't, what I feel is that they're not honoring the connection. They don't want to like feel the connection. Perhaps they don't feel it, whatever. And it's almost like they have decided that instead of like a healing, instead of our interaction being a healing one, it's a potential harm or potentially harmful. And so my mind works in wonderful ways, and I wrote down potentially harmful. And although that's not what was said, potential harm is what was said. And so what I was guided to write was potentially harmful. And what came through is if you break it down, you have potent, I, ally. So if we cross the I out, the self, the ego, it's all about me. We become potent allies for one another. And, I trust everything, everything unfolds as it's meant to. And there's very little we need to do. I guess what I'm saying is like we are being asked to continue to show up for ourselves in ways that allows us to show up in the world with grace and confidence, operating from the inner knowing and really welcoming and calling into our experience, or calling into the experience more of the heart-centered energy. So, with that being said, working with these two decks and the journey of love, I love that deck. I love them both. And I haven't worked with them for a while. So I'm excited at the decks I've been guided to bring out and incorporate into these new daily offerings, which are on a weekly basis. So on the bottom of each of the decks, so they're asking me to turn over the rest because we could just go on and on. So on the bottom of each of the decks, were two beautiful cards, and it really feels like it's confirmation of what's being said. It's to the inner trust, to trust ourselves. And 2025 is going to challenge us to trust ourselves more, challenge us to keep going and moving into the thrive, like being the thrive, being grateful to be alive, happy to be alive. We made it through things that, um, others haven't made it through. I was gonna say like a weaker soul, and yet it's not really a weaker soul. We only know um, what we've been through and what we've experienced. And as we know, as divine humans, and divine humans temporarily who are eternal souls, we are each on our own place within the spiral of grace, within the evolutionary path of our soul. 2025 feels incredibly potent and powerful, in my personal experience, first and foremost, because I'm a Virgo. So there's that hermit energy, which is very comfortable and familiar, although a little um, cerebral at times, as well as my life path is a 9 as well. So this feels like a very, very powerful year, which is a year of transition. It's like switching the gears into this as the wheel of fortune, the wheel of destiny has turned in our favor. And it's already turned. And just like back in 2012, when the message came through that karma had been cleared for humanity. I received that message in 2012 around the Lion's Gate 8-8. And the subsequent messages that followed were, that doesn't mean, like we were told we got a clean slate. And that didn't mean that we woke up the next day and everything was rainbows and lollipops, or we would be living in the proverbial Garden of Eden right now, right? Instead, what it meant is that we were each given an opportunity in our personal experience, like in our individual experience, to do the inner work, to roll up the sleeves and do the crap work that brings up all kinds of not so great emotions and stuff like that. And yet, if we don't feel and we don't honor and we don't allow ourselves to express and to really to feel those emotions, how the heck can we expect to heal? So for many of you here, for the last 12 years, 13 years, coming up to 13 years, 13, the number of the divine feminine, you've been doing the work. So thank you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And another a big um, key. So this comes to 15, which comes to a 6, which is the house of Virgo again. We're Virgo is a very grounded, like it's an earth sign, right? Like Taurus and Capricorn. We've got Taurus, the fixed, and then we have Virgo, the mutable, and then we have Capricorn, the cardinal. And so this is about being grounded in our daily practices. This is about listening within, that inner trust. So, how can we develop our trust? By taking action. What is love? Love is an action, not an emotion. So, we take action in our daily lives towards our soul's satisfaction. And what's right for me may not be right for you, and vice versa. What's right for you may not be right for me. Yet, neither of our actions should harm the other. Hey, sis. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, the girls are back in town. It's about do no more harm. So when I was told by this person that our connection was a potential harm, that was really alarming to me. It's been about 6 days now, so it's really settling in, and I feel so much empathy for that person. I really do. And I hope that at some point in time, we have an opportunity to clear the air, clear the heart space, and talk, because that is never, those of you who know me and connect with me know that it's not my intention to ever cause harm to another, because I understand how harmful harm and trauma and pain is. And so it's been very it's been healing, actually, to move through that, I will say. And to come to terms with, oh my gosh, I have had like a negative impact on someone that it was never the intention. And so it's all about our intentions too, right? So the sacred rebel in us, the best thing that we can do is trust the inner guidance we're receiving, trust the inner voice, and take action accordingly. And action it's always like the self-care action, right? The self-love action we take in our daily lives. Yeah. Releasing allegiances. That's pretty, and there's that 10 energy, right? We're in this universal 9. We're moving towards the universal 10. And in the 9, we're being asked to let go. And this really feels, what I'm feeling with this are allegiances. They're asking me to take another card, so I will. Oh, of course, because it's so much brighter. It's so beautiful. But what I'm feeling with this is like, is your life, like perhaps our allegiances are to some aspect of self that was in defense mode when we built walls around our beautiful hearts, when we started to take on the persona of the child who knew their place was to be seen and not heard. How ridiculous is that? And I'm sure many of you, particularly my vintage, we have heard that kind of foolishness. Even in school, we heard stuff like this, just absolute nonsense. And so, from the place of a child who is, finding their footing in this world, that is really can be really destabilizing. It is really destabilizing and traumatizing to this beautiful child of light who is inspired by the visions in their head, their imagination, nature, creativity. And so I'm really, really feeling like the allegiances we are being asked to release and let go of are those ones that we've held dear, those ones that we have cemented into place. And via our thought and action and inaction, we hold in place. This is about, let's just see. Well, before I get to anything in the guidebook, let me just continue. And I'm feeling like those golden bangles on her wrists here are really speaking about, and there's 6 of them. I know, but the problem is I really feel connected to this soul, like really feel connected, and have like was transformed, like just something shifted in me the day that like we actually looked at each other. It was like, oh my gosh, like the soul recognition was overwhelming. And I haven't felt that way since Frank. So obviously it's a male energy. And yeah, it's been really disarming. It's been really disarming. And so I mean, I still hold faith. I still really feel the connection, and I really, through energetics, work consciously to heal that and to really support that other energy, to support them in, you know, getting into the fields. And so, yeah, I'm a strong energy. I know that. And we know I'm loving. You know, others may just be like, no, no, wait. I'm not interested in any of this. This is not my thing. And yeah. So anyways, so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So this is like the gold bangles are really speaking to me, and there's 6 of them. And again, it's like, how are we caring for ourselves? And personally, I feel that Virgo Pisces axis is like the healing axis. It's the red road that we walk here in this lifetime. And it's really about us, you know, because with that, like I perceived the reaction from the other as rejection and abandonment. And back to, which is a beautiful gift in and of itself, it made me realize that there's still some aspect of little Lisa in there that, you know, hasn't healed that rejection, that abandonment, that core wound of abandonment. Be less than who you are, right? That wound that was projected externally that told little Lisa to be less Lisa. How do we be less who we are? And so I guess the whole entire point of all of this is 54-year-old Lisa in her 55th year. It's about showing up for her, and don't be less of who you are. Allow the world to see your heart. Allow the world around you, allow yourself when you look in the mirror to see that you show up for yourself on a daily basis. You know, use your imagination. If we can imagine it, we can experience it. Like there's a reason that my dreams of the dreams haven't left, right? There's a reason that I'm still sitting here 12 years on this channel with less than 1,000 subscribers, still here sharing, because I believe in this. I know that this is what I am meant to do. And if I'm only meant to reach 700 and some odd subscribers, then that's it. And yet I know that that is not the truth. This is meant to grow. We are meant to grow, each and every one of us. We have been sowing the seeds of love in our life via self care. We're not perfect. We don't always show up for ourselves in the ways that we should. And yet, the key is we keep going. And this is what supports us to grow. And this is what supports us to expand beyond um, the mind and into the heart, which is like a literal, it's like a force, that force field of love, that grows things, that expands things, and gives those around wings so that they can grow and expand things and extract the sweetness out of life. This feels like it does feel like Empress energy. I just heard cornucopia. Yeah, yeah. We all do. We all do, right? We all do, each and every one of us. And, this is not a time to settle for less than we deserve. And what I really realized with that connection is that it's not a time for us to revert into our old behaviors and patterns, our ways of going about things. It's about growing the inner faith and the trust and living within that space, not doubting ourselves, because situations such as that, I was like, oh, it didn't last long. Like I said, it's not quite been a week, and the connection was just a couple of months. I think today would be, or yeah, just a couple of months old. And although we've been in each other's sphere for a couple of years. So it's all very interesting. And I mean, ultimately, what it is like when that message came, there was like a part of me that was like, oh my gosh, and wanting to defend myself. And I may have defended myself a little, wanting to defend myself, wanting to, clear the air and clarify. And, I wasn't afforded that opportunity or given that opportunity as of yet. And that's okay, because what it's really done is continued to inspire me to do what I'm here to do. And in fact, it was that connection that I made back with the look in the eyes and the, oh my gosh, soul recognition, was November 29th, which is when I began to start writing again, which is when I began to start scheduling posts again on social media and coming here on line, as well as working through the inner stuff. I mean, we're always working through the inner stuff, right? 2025 was the year we slayed imagined and real dragons. And in 2025, we're shedding that skin that we've outgrown, that we've still been living in. And if we are to stay in that, we are to wither and die. We will not survive, and we certainly will not thrive. I don't know about you. I'm here to thrive. I mean, I'm just not here to survive anymore. And how do we thrive? Continue to show up for ourselves and to continue to follow the path of those things that bring us joy. So I'm grateful for that connection and even the perceived rejection, because it has motivated me to, in really beautiful ways, to show up for myself and to continue to fill my own cup and to continue to believe and have faith. Less believe, not believing the lie, believe and have faith in self. And yes, how beautiful that the simplicity card came out. Simplicity is key. And I believe there are some posts that have already been rescheduled, or have been scheduled around the idea of simplicity. Look at this. And on the bottom of the card, the yin yang lover. And the 8 and the 4 is 12. The 12, we are the channel of light. 12, Frank. Hi, Milo's brother. Woohoo! Hey! We've got a new schedule going here on the channel. You'll have to go back to the beginning of the message to see what that is, but we're going to be engaged and connected regularly again. I'm back with more lessons, with more time to integrate. But what I'm really feeling, it's funny because before this connection that I've been talking about in this video a little bit, a week before that, I had a visitation from Frank, which was the third of three I've had from him since he died. And all that day, it was November 21st, and all that day I was feeling him around me. There was, just some love and support coming through from him. And all day I kept thinking, like, oh my gosh, 6 years minus a month, 6 years less a month, 6 years less a month. And the vulture came in that day as well. And the vulture's message was, death and rebirth take place within the same space. So anyways, I had this visit from Frank on the 21st, and on the 29th made connection with this person. And, since then, it's really had me feeling. And on the 29th, before I had gone to work, I was at the lake and there were 4 swans. So 2 pairs of swans. And swan has always been my symbol of eternal love, the beloved, the other. And so with these cards coming out, it really feels like for those of us that have, a hope, the happily ever after, the vision for our life, not to give up. And, over the years, especially after Frank died, like I haven't really been interested, honestly. There's been no one that has really come into my experience that felt energetically like a fit until November 29th and this energetic connection, which is, for all accounts and purposes, being totally rejected. And yet these cards coming out after sharing all of this is speaking to me, get back to the simplicity of things. Stick to the focus that your heart has chosen. Continue to have faith in your dreams. Do not let any perceived rejection or anything like that deter you from staying the course of your heart, because this dream is for you. And this is about balancing the inner yin and yang, the inner masculine and feminine, and healing, so that when they meet in the 3D, because we're all here in human experience, we're not here to get spiritual and, like to go off. Well, maybe some are, to go off into the mountains of Tibet and practice levitating. We are here as humans to heal through connection with others. And you'll understand what I mean. It's a solitary walk. I heal myself. I do my inner work. Nobody does that for me. Do I get support along the way? Yes, absolutely. Yet it is me that has to roll up her sleeves. It's me that has to support the release. It's me that cries and slobbers with snot flying out of my nose to support the release, right? And it's the same for all of you, Jen and Elaine and Milos. It's the same for you and everyone else who's connecting with this. Whenever you're connecting with it, it's up to us. And when we do that inner work, we can be confident that as we do, we are calling into our experience all those that are meant to be in our experience. And, what's meant to be for us is never going to pass us by. And it doesn't matter what we say or what we do. What is meant for us is not going to pass us by. And so it's really about appreciating the little things in life. And I'm really feeling this merging. I was guided to say at the beginning, I'm really feeling called to really tune in. And, I used to do it a lot because we had moon circles going every month for years. And so those, if you are really wanting to go deeper on this journey and through the shadow, please do check out the website and the moon memberships, because this is 2025 is really, and I've been like tuned in for all the moons this year, and in particular that Aquarian new moon a couple days ago, key. And so I'm really being guided to tune back into that energy and to work with it a little differently this time, to work with it from our moon signs, right? Like, you all know I'm a Virgo. Did you all know my moon is a Leo? And, Leo's out there, right? So it feels like I've been guided that it's the Leo energy with the moon that I'm being guided to tap into. So for you, maybe it's the same for you. And the moon, okay, the death and rebirth, the transformation of it all. This is our key. And these circles, those circles were a beautiful support for those of us that grew up within those circles and healed a lot. So please do consider joining the moon circles for 2025. And you can do it on a monthly basis, like a monthly payment. This will take us through, if you start now, it'll take us through to the spring of 2026, the membership. So it can be paid on a monthly basis, or it can be paid at one time. Anyways, check out the link in the description box below for the website. Yeah, right? I know. It's like we're not here to ignore anymore. We're here to shed the skin. To ignore is to wither and die. And we're doing that all the time anyways. But we're dying to be reborn brighter and brighter and brighter, right? Water with oil of oregano in it. Yeah. So I'm really feeling very optimistic to see this card. And this is really about us being our own lover, right? Loving ourselves, even when others may not. Because that's not really, it's not about our relationship. It's not us and them. It's us and, ourself. And when we're okay with this, then it can hopefully become about us and the other, growing together, growing old together, supporting and space within relationships. As spiritual beings, we all need our space, right? I love and appreciate my space and my solitude. This is, it is really something that is an important part of my life. And I feel like we are all, if that's something that we like, then we can be assured that others appreciate that too. So it's really about, it really feels that this time is about leveling up, maturing. And then on the bottom of this deck, we have the towering magnificence. This is us, your dreams, your visions, your love, your healing, your creations, your imaginations, all of it. Support the rising of new life for generations to come. Divine truth. I'm feeling Archangel Michael's presence really strongly at this time. It's just like he just came in. And Archangel Jophiel, solar plexus. And you'll see, like, I'm guided to this golden area up here, and then the golden area on the towering magnificence. 3-3, the path of forgiveness, the path of consciousness of Christ. This is so crazy. We could keep going, but I'm going to stop there. Oh, stop there. Okay. And then we've got the sacred convergence and the sacred convergence and the ethereal touch. Yeah. Ethereal touch, 27. So 27 and 28, 210 energies, triple 10. That's been a big number for the yearly messages I've been delivering, is like this triple 10 energy. Do the work now. This is like a triple 9 year, right? Triple 9, so that we can move into like the highly creative energy of the 10, the magician and the fool. And because I often feel like people mistake when I say that, oh, I'm a fool, a sacred fool. That doesn't mean I'm dumb or lack intelligence or anything like that. In fact, completely the opposite. A part of my role here in this timeline is to use humor, to use myself to, it's almost like make fun of myself, you know, but again, it's not to make fun of myself to keep myself down. It's to make fun of myself so that we can see the folly of the human nature, right? To help others see like life's not meant to be so serious. Let's laugh a little more. Let's laugh at ourselves because we are redonkulous. My mom thinks she made up that word. She didn't. Whatever. Um, you know, Yeah, the sacred fool. He's got that loyal little dog nipping at his heels and his little stick and sack, over his back, and he's going for it. He's taking the leap. So please don't ever mistake my calling myself a sacred fool as, uh, don't make the mistake that it means I'm dumb and I have no clue of what's going on. I'm very tuned in. And my ability to cope, my ability to be sitting here, my ability to get to this point of the thrive has been my ability to work through all the stuff I feel and hear and see inside and remain grounded and connected and heart centered. Because, like, and perhaps my heart is I'm a little protective of it. um it's still like open though. I still have, um I'm not saying I'm always right. Rarely wrong, rarely wrong. And again, that doesn't come from, I know that used to annoy a lot of the adults in my life when I was younger. And I'd hear a lot, you're too smart for your own good, or where did you learn that? Or, how do you know that? And for me, it's always been about like my innate intelligence. It's like perhaps it's been my level of openness since I was a child. Um, if something insults my soul or doesn't feel right, I generally trust that, and it hasn't led me too far from wrong. It's been my mind that has led me along much of this life, and when I go with what the mind wants, right? When I go with what the mind wants, it often goes against what the gut is saying or that inner knowing is saying, right? Because we don't want to miss out on something, or we don't want to be alone or whatever. I'm good on my own. I'm good alone. Do I want to go through the next half of my life alone? No, I don't. And some may say I'm a fool for that. And yet perhaps I'm a fool for love, because if it's not love, what the heck are we here for? If it's not connection with the other and healing. And that was one of the most beautiful aspects of mine and Frank's connection. He wasn't my type. He wasn't my type physically. He was not my type at all. And yet there was an instant connection between our hearts, an instant recognition between our hearts. And I'm so fortunate that we were able to have, a few short years together, really supporting the healing of one another. And for that, I will Be forever grateful. Right. Right. And, in my brain, I see the other. And, it's like power couple vibes. And, at this stage of the game, it's like just keep doing and being me and trusting that what is meant for me is not going to pass me by. I literally thought that on November 29th, um, you know, it was a gift from heaven into my experience, 4444. And it has been a gift because it's offered me an opportunity for deeper healing, right? And deeper connection with, you know, um, my angels, with source, even working with um, telecommunication, telepathy, the heart. Between hearts, there is telepathy, and it's really important to remember our power and the right use of power. So, I don't know. What do you guys think of Freedom Friday? The rebel within, rebelling and changing the frequency. That's what we're here for. I feel like this is going to be a beautiful connection for us to grow and share with one another. And I think those of you who were here live with me today, and Elaine won the January free reading giveaway. It was drawn yesterday or the day before, I think on the new moon, on the 29th. Yeah. It's a worldwide revelation. I mean, here in North America, people are so freaking preoccupied with politics. It's like, can we talk about anything else? And if you say something that's against the mainstream narrative here, it's like, oh, you're a Trumper. You know what? Let the trumpets of consciousness sound. Let us stand down to all the mind games and the stuff that's playing out, which really none of them are for us. Team humanity is us taking our power back, getting online with our solar plexus, taking a stand for ourselves in our life. And we have the opportunity to do that each and every day by taking responsibility for how we are feeling on the inside. And get back to basics. Simplicity is key, right? It doesn't have to be convoluted and confusing. I mean, yeah, thank goodness. And I feel like as we move through this year, we're going to be feeling it more and more because of people like us who are consciously showing up for ourselves. Perhaps we've had a wound triggered that we didn't know still existed. And so we're given the gift, the opportunity to heal that because we're not meant to carry it with us. And remember, it's been said the first 3 months of this year, we're going to be big. So we've got the wolf that came in to remind us to flow. And then the year of the snake is upon us. And now it's time to let go because yes, it's a 9-year. We talked about that. As Virgos, we're the hermit 9. My life path is also a 9. No baggage. That's right. That's why 2025, the hermit gets flipped on their head and opens up their lantern and lets their light out into the world, lets their healing out into the world. And, supporting the healing first and foremost of our heart, because I can't support anyone else if I can't support myself. And so supporting ourselves and then going out into the world and sharing our heart, if nothing else, just, a smile on our face so that, the light, the wisdom of our heart radiates out into the world around us. And that simple act has a positive effect to elevate. Right. We can't, right? We've got to fill our own cup. We have to fill our own cup. So, I don't think that there's much more that I'm guided to share here today. So remember, tomorrow night is going to be, it's my intention right now is to do a Saturday night live with you at 11:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now it's 1:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 31st. So on February 1st, we're going to do our Saturday Night Live. It's going to be really interactive. I'll pull some cards for people. We'll have some stimulating and uplifting conversations. So please do join me. We're going to be live tomorrow night. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I was just going to say on the days I'm not up to going live at that time, there will be an interactive message posted to that playlist, the Saturday Night Live playlist, for all of you. As always, please do consider showing your appreciation for this space with a subscription to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below, like my beautiful siblings of light here, Elaine, Jen, and Milos. I am so appreciative of any and all engagements. Let this year be the year that we break free and through beyond 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Let's get this channel, let's get this community, let's get this revolution going viral. I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for showing up. And please do consider the moon memberships. I have a feeling that this is going to be a highly transformative year when we consciously connect with the energy of our moon and its cycles in our life. So until tomorrow night, everyone, go out there and just shine your light into the world. Make sure first, though, you are shining your beautiful love light and caring for yourself. Until next time, take good care. I love you.